Hello guys, how's it going? Welcome to my vlog. My name is Shaun and I am Scottish. I want to start with a wee story, right? I have begun this series, Scottish Stories, having been inspired by a trip that I recently took to the United States of America.
I feel a little bit like an imposter here.
You sound like it too.
Yeah.
See, I went to America with the American Embassy to London, and it was a trip called Exploring American Values. And during this trip, I learned so much, but I think the main thing that I learned was the connection that I have as a Scottish person with Americans. The connections were so deep, and I had no idea that this existed, and it's absolutely amazing. I feel like I've entered a whole new world and forged deep connections with people from the other side of the Atlantic Ocean. And I've done a bit of research since I've come back, and I've started to join the connections together, and this is exactly why I'm doing this series on my YouTube channel. I want to talk about the so-called special relationship that America has with the UK. I think that connection is not that strong. It's a purely political thing where whoever the Prime Minister of the UK is at the time sucks up to whoever the President of the United States is at the time. For political reasons, for financial reasons. But when we look at Scotland as an individual part of the UK, we have such a much deeper connection with America in so many ways. I want to talk about why why we as Scottish people are so attracted to America, and why I was so excited to be invited to America on the Exploring American Values tour with the US Embassy. And if you have not seen that series of vlogs where I travelled to America with the US Embassy, please do go and check it out. It's on my channel. I think growing up culturally, we were always more interested in American things than British things as a Scottish kid. Like television, every single thing we watched on TV was American. As a Scottish person, we were certainly very connected to American culture through television. As I started to appreciate my own culture and my own roots as a Scottish person, I started to realise just how much we are adored as Scottish people around the world, and that means a lot to us. When I went on this trip to America, I was hit almost immediately because every single where I went with my Scottish accent in America, people were all over me, like, wow, you're from Scotland. Tell us more, we want to know more about Scotland. We want to know more about where you're from. What clan were you? What is your family tartan? I was not prepared for these types of questions when I arrived in America. And I'll tell you one thing, we went to a lot of different diverse types of groups, companies, people with different opinions in America. We saw people from all over the place. And everybody welcomed me as a Scottish person. I felt absolutely amazing by the welcome that I was given in America. And it's purely because I'm Scottish. They were interested in my culture and my history. And the reason they were interested, because so many Americans have Scottish connections through their family roots. I think there's probably definitely more people in America, and Canada as well, who are Scottish rooted than there actually exist Scottish people in Scotland. We love the fact in Scotland that you Americans take such interest in us as Scottish people. We are a small nation. We always feel like the underdog. And we kind of feel like our accent, our culture, our history gets disrespected and ignored elsewhere in the world. So the fact that you Americans pay such close attention and seem to be fascinated by our culture means the world to us. That is basically the reason why we have this close connection and love America so much. We love anybody that pays close attention to us as underdogs and likes our history, likes our culture. And in fact, from what I learned when I was in America, a lot of you guys actually know more about the old school Scottish history and culture than most people in Scotland do. I found that fascinating, but actually brilliant as well. Amazing. This is so cool that we're forging this connection with American people, like other side of the Atlantic Ocean, and we're making friends with people in America. So the fact that America gives us so much respect to Scottish people is amazing. That is why we are just totally in love with America and Americans. That means a lot to us, believe me. But then it gets deeper, because having done some research, it turns out so many important Scottish people have made their fame and their fortune and their ideas become reality because of America. Like, I tend to feel that Scottish people are probably not taken that seriously around the world. Of the first 43 American presidents, 33 of them were either Scottish descended or were from Ulster Scots. That is incredible. Around half of the people who signed the first Constitution of America were from Scottish immigrant backgrounds. So already we have this deep forged tie with Scotland and America through our cultural, historic roots. See, I was probably a bit apprehensive before I went to America with all the political stuff going on there right now. I didn't know how welcome I would be. But actually, like, you guys just opened your arms and I felt like I was given a great big hug when I arrived in the country.
You be safe.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. It felt great, and that's why I cannot wait to go back. It was incredible. There's other amazing connection stories as well. Neil Armstrong, the first man on the moon, he took the Armstrong tartan with him on his mission. That's amazing. Neil Armstrong, one of the most famous men in the world for what he achieved, has Scottish ancestry. And his fellow moonwalker, Buzz Aldrin, as well, Scottish descendants. Because of what we do nowadays in the modern age, this thing right here, right, the smartphone, this is what we all live on. This is probably what most of you guys are watching YouTube on right now. The original concept of the smartphone was probably the telephone, right? Alexander Graham Bell was born in Edinburgh, and he immigrated to America, to Canada actually, first of all. It became a huge success with the invention of the telephone, and his first transmitter was placed in Boston, America. Incredible. I must visit that site one day. Scottish people have just been finding success in America for so long. I would love to come and spend some real time in America. As I say, I love America. I love what Scottish people have achieved in America. I love the connections. I love the fact that you Americans love us and love our culture and love our history. I love the fact that you hold the biggest Tartan Day event in the world. Guys, I really hope to make it to America one day. That is just the basic fact of it. I love America. A lot of Scottish people do love America. We are the underdogs. I think for us, Scottish people, America is like this place that is everything that we want to achieve and succeed. We love Scotland. We are proud of being Scots, but we're always the underdog. But we feel a lot of Scottish people have went on to America and have lost that being an underdog and been hugely successful. That is just mind-blowing, amazing. I want to be part of that. Anyway, thank you so much, guys. I owe you a big thank you for watching these vlogs. I really appreciate it. This is the Scottish Stories series I'm running on my channel, and it's really great that you guys are all joining in. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment box below. I would love to know your Scottish connections. I'm going to call it a night. So, thanks again. Remember to hit subscribe. Share this video with your friends and family if you think they would enjoy it. And I'll speak to you again really soon. Take care.